In St. Peter's Square in Rome, visitors can see a bronze sculpture called Angels Unawares. It depicts people from various lands and cultures together in a boat. And among them, one can see the Holy Family. Today's celebration is part of the Christmas season. Matthew tells us the story of how Mary, Joseph, and the child Jesus become refugees, fleeing persecution by King Herod, who was determined to slay infants in the hope of snuffing out the life of the Messiah. Our late Pope Francis made the same connection in his February 2025 letter to the U.S. bishops. He linked today's migrants and refugees to the plight of, quote, the family of Nazareth in exile. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, emigrants in Egypt and refugees there to escape the wrath of an ungodly king. They were, he said, quote, the model, the example, and the consolation of emigrants and pilgrims of every age and country, of all refugees of every condition who, beset by persecution or necessity, are forced to leave their homeland, beloved family, and dear friends for foreign lands. In an unusually direct reference, Pope Francis deplored, quote, the initiation of a program of mass deportations in the U.S. Acknowledging a nation's right to defend itself and keep communities safe, the Pope went on to condemn, quote, the act of deporting people who, in many cases, have left their own land for reasons of extreme poverty, insecurity, exploitation, persecution, or serious deterioration of the environment, noting that such deportation, quote, damages the dignity of many men and women and of entire families and places them in a state of particular vulnerability and defenselessness. Pope Leo XIV, in September of 2025, in remarks to reporters about conditions in the U.S., called the treatment of migrants a pro-life issue. He said, quote, someone who says I'm against abortion but is in favor of the death penalty is not really pro-life. And, Pope Leo continued, quote, someone who says I'm against abortion but I'm in agreement with the inhuman treatment of immigrants in the United States, I don't know if that's pro-life. These papal admonitions must challenge us in today's feast to adopt a consistent ethic of life and to address, in whatever way we find appropriate, the negation of life in the inhumane treatment of refugees and migrants.